There will be a follow-up video explaining everything, all the materials. Where did we get it?
Where did we got it? No. Not did. Not did. Don't use did.
Where we got
Don't
it?
did. No did.
Where we bought it?
Okay.
Hello everyone, welcome to Pamilyang Pordoy Vlog. Today we wanted to make a video about building a small provincial house with a small budget. Maybe this will interest to all the OFW working abroad and who really wanted to have their own house as well, which is in a budget, or for those expats who wanted to live in the Philippines just like us and you are in a short budget as well, or those Filipino people who are here who are starting their own family as well and they wanted to build their own house. If you stay up to the end, we will going to show you the expenses and how much it's cost for this little house in here, which is it's only about 72 square meter. Please don't forget to hit the subscribes, hit the like, share it as well. And if you have any comments or suggestion, please leave it there. We will going to answer it definitely. Thank you.
Okay, first off, we looked on Facebook Marketplace to find some land that was advertised around.
Yeah, that was 2018.
Yeah, and we found a broker, and bless her heart, she showed us around and showed us these places, and we like the look of this place. And
It's overlooking.
It was overlooking the bay, and it was halfway up to the mountains.
Yeah.
And the elderly couple that was selling had some hospital bills, so they wanted a cheap sale. And
yeah, it's 2,500 per square meter, which is a good buy already
Yeah.
in here, because most of the land in here they sold it for 3,500 per square meter. Ours is 2,500 too.
Yeah, it was just covered in banana trees and big old rocks, and the neighbours. This is where we first met our neighbours, and
Nanay.
they wanted to take all the bananas off before we cut all the banana trees down, which is fine. We got to know them. We're good friends with them now. My first time with a machete in the Philippines, and I just went crazy with the neighbours, and me and Tate and the kids over the back there just cleaned the land. This is where I first got to meet them as well. Tate could speak good English, thank God.
That's a good thing about Philippines, because Filipino really helps each other.
Yeah.
And then we decided to build a native house for me.
Yeah, because I was going to go back to England.
Yeah, and
to carry on my job, and she needed somewhere to live, to get out of her dad's house.
Yeah, I wanted to live in my own.
So
yeah,
I sent the money over, about £1,000 English pound, just for her to get this native house built,
and for the water and for the electric, which is very good, because our native house we got electric already installed. So when we build our house, we just transferred our electric to our house, so we did not apply for another electric for our house. So it's very easy.
It's a good
trick. It's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the native house. This is me trying to be a man and start a fire, and then gardening with my dog, because that's what you do. This is where my dog Khabib, when he was a puppy, got attacked by the other dogs around here, and it pissed me off. So I decided to build a fence around the place. So me and Tate just built cyclone fence all the way around, but dogs still get in, because that's what they do. Then we got a floor plan, because I thought I had a basic design for a house that I'd drawn out, and we were going to go with that just to save money with the architect.
Yeah.
But my brother-in-law said, just get an architect, because everything will be a lot easier, and trust me. This is the first day of the build, and so I thought I'd celebrate with a red horse, because that's what I do.
Everything delivered.
Yeah, the deliverers were coming. The boys, this was the first day they came round, and we're levelling the land with a water level, and the posts had to be dug out. So this was me digging holes for all the posts. This was a long job, and one thing I do recommend, because we're on a budget, we couldn't afford diggers and stuff like that, so everything was manually dug. And there's loads of volcanic boulders under the ground, which were on every post hole. So we had to maneuver our way around them without kangos or jackhammers or diggers, and it was all done with a metal bar. Even breaking the rocks was with a metal bar. And yeah, in hindsight, I should have just gone and bought some equipment, but we were trying to save money. But in the long run, you should just do this.
If you get enough money, you can rent.
Of course, yeah.
Just rent.
Yeah, it could have saved us a lot of time and labour fees, to be honest, actually. Then the boys made up the steel bars into posts.
Put some money on it,
and this is where we put in coins underneath. And each layer was going up, and it just started to look like a house. This is the scaffolding the boys use over here. It's definitely different to the Western standards, which always amazes me how they manage to build with these coconut lumber scaffolding. It's crazy. This is where the boys started to build the concrete posts. So they build, I think we call it in England shuttering. So you build the forms or something like that around the posts so that you can fill them up with concrete and make the concrete posts. This is where they first started. This is where the boss sometimes used to come and visit when she'd finished work, just to checking on the boys. This is where
carrying all this.
Yeah, we have to lift everything up manually, buckets of cement and blocks on hooks and stuff like that. It's just
all manual.
Yeah, it's all manual. It's good fun, really good fun. This is where the next door neighbour's dog had puppies. This is Khabib's kids. Just on site. This was a big tree that was on the boundary line, and we had to, I had to cut the roots and trim this whole tree down. It was a pain in the ass. I could never understand, because in England we have a concrete lintel that goes above doors and windows, which I thought was standard procedure, but
different in here.
Not here. They've got enough steel in these walls, though, I must admit, more than in England. Because of earthquakes, I think. So this is mixing muck, Filipino style, barefoot.
Barefoot, yeah.
But I always muck in with the boys. Every day I was helping out, and it was just ridiculous. So they just said, "Take your shoes off," and I was like, "What?" But I understand it now. You just want to get the job done, and this was the best way. So proper Filipino, I mean now. And here we have the top form of.
Is it beam?
Yeah, beams. Yeah, the concrete beams that were finally done for the.
It looks nice already.
It looks nice.
Yeah.
Looks
like a house.
A lovely cube on that dodgy scaffolding. The roof. This is where they started to build the roof. This is where they would nail lots of what wood did they use? Lawaan and acacia wood, I do believe. Yeah. Good strong wood, but
because we don't wanted really to use steels, because steels is not really good for typhoon as well.
Yeah, and steel roofs, even though they don't suffer from woodworm and stuff, but they do shrink, they do expand and contract in the weather. So
Manny told us that it's better the wood, really.
Yeah.
As long as it's a good wood.
As long as it's treated as well.
And it's treated as well. So yeah, even though it's a bit expensive, that's fine.
Yeah. So the boys nail in these woods together, and this is how they tie it to the blocks, which they got their own way of doing things.
Yeah.
And they gradually pieced it together, and I was a bit skeptical at what they were doing for a start, but as they gradually got on, I realised that they knew their stuff. I mean, the roof looks quite intricate. To me, it does. And eventually they painted it with selenium and diesel, like in this piece here, just to keep the woodworm away. Yeah. This is where I had to start building the septic tank, or digging the septic tank out. And yeah, there's a million boulders under there the size of a car. And I've got one metal bar to dig them out with, and it took me 2 weeks, and a few spades broken, and this had to be at least 6 to 7 foot deep. This is me having a bath.
Cleaning up.
Cleaning up, Filipino style, in the
Filipino way.
steel drums, but
Yeah.
you don't care after a while. These are fascia boards that go around the side of the house, just painted, and yeah, they were fixed on for the
Roofing.
for the roofing on the eaves and the soffits to be connected to. These are the boys. This is Michelle's brother and her boys who do all the electrics. So
Yeah.
they came around, chased all the walls out.
They're still students.
Still students,
Yeah.
so we put all our faith in them. Everything seems to be fine.
They're all students.
Yeah, and
But they're good.
they even take time to play chess because we weren't paying them. This is where the windows were prepared for the actual window frames to go into, and then the boys did all the finishing around the house with concrete. This is where Manoy was working on the sink and the countertops, the worktops, for where the granite would go down. In the meantime, we ordered the door jambs, and the boys fitted the door jambs. The roofing boys came, started to fix the roof, which was a beautiful sight. Believe me, when that roof went on, it was amazing.
It's true.
The soffits or the spandrels were fixed with the air vents. The backfill was then put down, and it started to feel like a house.
That's a house now.
Yeah,
Look
it was
at
a house. It just needed windows, and then we could start living in. The porch area was the last thing to be done, and we just took some time out with the dog. Just happy. And the boys decided to cement the floors. This was when it started to get real. The cement went down, and it just felt like the house was all coming together. Like a lizard just shit on my head. So then the porch was started. Tate would carry on finishing the whole of the inside of the house, concrete finishing, whilst Manoy would then sort the doors out. The doors were made of, what were they made of? Can you remember? It wasn't mahogany.
Mahogany.
Was it mahogany?
I guess so, yeah.
Oh, I don't know, I can't remember.
Mahogany. And then the
Pretty doors for the bathroom.
bathroom, yeah.
Nice plastic doors. And then we got the electric boys back in, who would then put the electrics and the lights up in the ceiling before the actual ceiling itself was fitted on. Then Tate would put the plywood up, real thin plywood, which I wanted thicker, but it cost a fortune. And we're on a budget, you see. And
It's 1/4 plywood.
yeah, 1/4, very flimsy. I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest. And then the boys finally put the lights in and got paid, and they were happy. But they're only students, they're all learning, and nothing's gone wrong yet. So this is where we went to shopping for the granite for the worktops. I wanted red, but they didn't have it, so we just settled for a basic granite. And Manoy, with the backsplash, fitted it, and it started to look quite nice. This is what I wasn't too happy with, because he got the angle grinder to cut it out. And yeah, well, enough said. We bought a double sink. I think it was an Italian make, Labello or something. Still holding out just all right. Then all we needed was some windows,
And we can leave the
because
house.
then we can move in at least and get the feel of the place. That's all we needed was windows. Today was a good day, because we got some fucking windows
And screen doors.
and screen doors. So once they went in, we were all happy, even the chickens. Look how happy we are. But yeah, this is our first time moving in, the first night in. I have to say something as well. We haven't got the video for it, but we had to, due to Philippine superstition, we had to
Put
cut a chicken's head off and spray the blood everywhere, or drop some blood, but it looked like it was spraying it to me. And and then hang something up in the roof,
Yeah.
which to keep away the bad spirits. Something, I don't know. Yeah, there's so
And
many.
we take water, cottons, rice, and salt inside
and
as
stuff
well.
like that. Yeah,
When we move in, we we put it first
yeah.
in the house, and we still have it.
Yeah, we still got it. Yeah. So as well as the coins in the cement for good fortune, these other things are meant to bring you good luck. So you're never without food and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Old people will always say, if you get that one, you won't be running out of it.
True. Yeah. You never go hungry.
You never
and
go
stuff like
hungry.
that.
So
yeah,
we just followed it, you know.
that's true. But my superstition was to drink a bottle of tiger beer on entry. There we go. Then we bought. Because we wanted to move in, we wanted to get the bathroom sorted out. So Manoy said you need to get all your pipes fitted down below so you can get your ablutions taken away. This was where the boys started to tile the bathroom because we wanted to move in. So
no, we move in already, and since we don't have bathroom, we're using the bathroom of the native house.
oh, was we? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's we're using.
So
So that's why Manoy fixing that
Oh, okay.
so quick so that we can use it instead of using the bathroom of the native house, which is far because we need to go out every now and then to have a wee or something.
Yeah, yeah. This was the ref. We bought a ref and a couple of beds because just the essentials, you know, if you want to live there. I highly recommend those bamboo beds. They're so strong and so cheap, and they look nice. They just look better than conventional metal beds, which creak in and break anyway. So then we got an aircon installed, which was a great idea. It's very much needed.
When it's hot, yeah.
And then
Porch.
one of the last rooms we had to finish was the porch, and this is where this was put. This was where they were putting backfill down, and sometimes you just have to stand and flex whilst you're watching old men do all the work. You know, we really wanted to put to make the porch look really nice and sort of, you know, like classic looking. So we bought some balusters, which are the marble posts that you have, and they look really nice actually. Here they are being put in now. Had those put around, and Manoy wanted to do some decorative arch design, which looks really nice actually. Makes such a difference. Very simple wood cutouts. Here we have the neighbours looking in amazement at what we were doing. I don't know if Manoy's having a piss here or he's cutting out holes, but
he's making holes.
He's making holes for the balusters, of course he is. Dogs are happy. And there we have pretty much the balusters all fixed in. Looks amazing. It really sets off the porch really nicely. And they're really cheap as well. I can't remember how much they are, but
200 plus.
200 pesos each. It's amazing.
And it's a marble.
Well, probably not marble, but oh, they are marble actually. Yeah, yeah. Then we bought some floor tiles, which were expensive.
Not really.
Are they?
Oh, it's not that expensive.
Oh, she's the accountant, not me. So I thought they were. But
No, it's not. Tiled.
tiles, nice and smooth. That's the best it's ever looked ever since. And then Manu would make the island. So with some leftover granite from the worktop, he made an island for us, which was a really good idea. I really liked Manu. He was very good at building.
Yeah.
This is me trying to plaster the whole house. I'd never done it before, but the boy showed me, and it's pretty simple. It's very different to the way the Westerners do it, I must add. But I do believe the Western style is better. But well, when in Rome, you know, just do what the Romans do. And this is sanding the walls down. This is a really cool job. And this is me going grey after it. Oh God, look at this twat. This is me
Painting.
painting. I hate painting. I just hate it. Who likes painting? The sink was all cut out, and the backsplash was backsplash, isn't it?
Backsplash.
Yeah, was put on. Then we were toying with different colour schemes. We wanted to keep the white and the grey, but we wasn't sure how it was going to look, so I painted the concrete white and cupboards grey, but then it just didn't feel right, so we filled them in and made them
All grey.
all grey, which definitely looked
That
better
one.
to us. Yeah. Right.
We're
Okay.
almost done.
These are the lights and the fans. Nice basic lights, cheap lights. Fans were a bit expensive, but they look the tits. And then this
That's
is
the island,
the island,
which
we haven't painted yet. But yeah, it just looks like a nice white room, and very white there. Yeah, it looks like a showroom or something. But then I decided to get a fence built around it because I'm just sick of dogs coming in. There's a million dogs around
and
here.
dog
and
shits as well.
there's dog shit everywhere, and
Yeah.
it's just
Whereas our dog really don't shit in our
yeah.
house.
And plus, it keeps people out as well. You just don't want people straying into your land. So we decided on building a block wall with half half cyclone fencing, and the boys came up with a nice fence. And then the boys put some steps up to the porch, and then we decided to build a meter wide elevated path all around the house,
so that
which
we
had
can,
a slight gradient, so the water would drip away from the house. And this took
and
a
we can
long
roam
time.
around the house.
Yeah, this took quite a long time. This busted my ass, and I was knackered after this. This is me having another
The
time.
porch are tiled already.
There's my poor vans. They died. They died building a house. Bless them. Then the house was done, so it was time for the native house, which we were using as storage. Which was luckily we had that for storage for all the cement and tools and stuff. But it had to come down, and we kept all the wood. There was an actual snake in there as well when we knocked it down. Saw the big snake skin. Couldn't see the snake. Just knew there was one in there because Michelle, when she was living there, thought there was one in there at the time.
Yeah.
So we were very careful when we were knocking the wood down to make sure there was no snake around. I couldn't see it, but he appeared a couple of months later because I had to catch him. Ugh, cobras.
A cobra.
Cobras, horrible things. Well, they're beautiful things, but just deadly. This was the gate we had put on wheels, and then the drain pipes were fitted. That's me messing about with them, but that's
the last day of our builders.
Yeah, it was a sad day actually, because we'd been together 5 or 6 months.
5 months.
Every day, and I had such a laugh, and it was very difficult because Michelle was at work and I was on site with the boys, and I couldn't speak any Bisayan, nothing at all. So trying to get my point across to builders that didn't understand English. You try doing that. You try building a house when all your builders don't understand you and trying to get through to what you want them to do. Just have a go, and then put in the comments below how you managed to do it. It's not easy. In fact, if you've got any comments about anything about this house, please contact us right down below.
It's true.
And if we've missed any information out, obviously
we can answer.
We'll answer any questions you've got about this, no problem. So this was our last days, and I felt sad. I felt like it was a real journey coming to an end,
too.
you know. And then the boys offered us round for drinks to their house, and we went round, and I just felt I wish I could give them more money. We were on a real tight budget, and
We just bought grocery for them.
Yeah, we were buying groceries for them and beer every week, and I tried to give them more money, but
We don't have extra.
just it's very difficult, you know, when you want to do things for people and you can't do it because due to COVID, I lost my job, and things are uncertain, you know, so every peso counts now. And I felt like crying that day. I just felt like I wanted to give them a big bonus for doing it, because they built an amazing house for us, you know.
It's a strong house.
Very
Even
strong.
if it's cheap one on a budget, but it's very strong.
Yeah, and I've said this from the start. If ever me and Michelle come into money, I'm going to sort them out. I'm gonna give them a backdated bonus for doing this, because this house is amazing for us. This is me looking very old.
Yeah,
and very relieved and very drunk. Then it started to rain, and I realised that my lawn area was going to get drenched
wet all the
all the
time.
time. So I went online and tried to find a solution to it, and I sort of made a weird French drain system underneath. Never done anything like this before, but I thought I'd just give it a go, dig some channels, fill them up with gravel, and take the water away, spread the water even around the garden. Then I'd put some chicken manure and sand all over it. Don't know if that was the right thing to do or not, it just felt like it was, and levelled it out with my homemade leveller.
Which
And
is
then
cocoa lumber.
Bought some turf and stitched the turf together, and this was the outcome. And I thought I did a good job, actually. It looked quite flat. I've got to say now, my grass looks like shit because
because
it's
of
just
raining.
full of weeds. And it's sort of knackered. I think I'm going to gravel it again. It just looks bad. Again, if anyone's got any remedy for fixing lawns, please tell me.
That's
I painted it as well, nice yellow colour. And the last thing I wanted to do was to get creative and make a brick path design all the way around, because the concrete just looked a bit dull and a bit bland. So I went online, found some ideas that people were doing with like stencils. And so I got some rubber paint, and I got a tile sponge, and I just went round and made brick pattern all the way around with rubber paint. And I think it came out okay. It could be a bit better, but it was fine. Khabib was happy, I was happy, it was done. Yeah, we celebrated as the sun set. And after every good job, you just have to sit back and relax and realise why you're here in the Philippines and drink tea, which is weird for me.
Here is the breakdown of all the expenses, all the materials and labor that we paid and we bought. We will do a follow-up video explaining everything in details, all the materials that we used, why we use it, and where we bought it as well.